How often do you look at the SEO reports your practice is receiving, the reports on your Google performance? Quite often I meet doctors who tell me, well, I don't really look at them anymore because I don't get them. And that is quite sad, because often you'll see that the agency will charge you a monthly amount to do your SEO. Now, what does it mean? What does that mean? And even that, in the conversation, quite often a doctor will tell me, well, you tell me. It's a really good question. I use this analogy. It's like building a house and spending all the money on the house, and you decorate it, and it's all ready, and you live in it, and then having a conversation with someone who says, I know a really good block of land to put your house on. Now, we know that's a weird situation. With SEO services, quite often that's exactly what happens. People have a website, content, it's all live, it's all happening, and then somebody knocks on your door and says, I will do your SEO. We don't believe in that. So we've got plenty of articles and plenty of videos explaining that we build the content that the patient is Googling for, and that is your search engine work. That is what you do. So let's simplify this other big thing, this elephant in the room, SEO reporting, and what it can look like and why it shouldn't look like that. So quite often SEO reports have all these terms being thrown at you: PPC ad networks, ad extensions, device targeting, link reclamation, and so on. So you get presented with a report that has numbers and data and names and titles, and you don't really have a mature conversation with anyone to discuss what it means for your practice. Do you actually capture the leads that you deserve? Are you on track to build the private practice that you have in mind? Those are the real questions. So quite often these answers don't come from this type of reports. And now, looking at the inside of a typical Google Analytics account, which is the tool that Google delivers for free to analyze your traffic, to measure exactly how patients land on your website, how much time they spend, what they click on, and how often they end up actually contacting you, so becoming a lead for your practice. That's the reality of the analytics that live inside your Google account, and they are complex. So it's not an easy thing to just go in there and tell you what's going on. And a bit like a doctor who has built this capacity to read blood reports, blood works, and you would know exactly what to look for. Depending on your specialty, you would know what to look for in a blood works report. It's very similar with content marketing and healthcare marketing. Once we know, as a medical marketing agency, what to look for, that's when we can have the conversation about what's really going on. So yes, these analytics are a little bit complex, and some of these automated reports, they just quickly generate a PDF that's emailed to you, and that's where the confusion starts, because you don't really know what to do with it. So let's not go there. So what do we really want? Clarity. Clarity in 4 bullet points. This is what the conversation should be about. What do patients search for in your niche? What exactly do they type into Google? What are your top 5 services? What are your income earners? Where's your practice going? What do you want to do more of? And what is really creating the main income for your practice? So what are your top services? Now, how many pages on your website make you rank on page 1 of Google search results, as you see on the right? How many of your pages give you a position on page 1, maybe in the top 3, for those specific important services? This is already, well, it's not complicated, but that is the sophistication of it. If you're not visible, you don't get new patients. So question number 3 is critical. That's what should be asked at least every 2 months in that optimization conversation. And then obviously, we're not going to sit back here and go, hey, we've got a great report, let's just forget about our marketing. Then we ask the question, what are the next steps for the coming 2, 3, or 6 months, maybe the next 12 months? What content are we building with our medical marketing agency to get more of those yummy Google page 1 search results? We want to be present there, to be visible, because most traffic comes from those top positions on Google's page 1. So, good question to ask your agency. How come you don't give me that clarity? Can we please get that clarity? Can we just get rid of the reports and have a real conversation every month, every 2 months, about our main goals, our main services, how visible we are, how often do we end on page 1, and the action steps that are going to be taken to get there. If you like that simplicity and that clarity, why not start with an obligation-free consultation on where you're at, where you could be in 3 or 6 months, and we'll take it from there. So book that free consultation, and I'll speak to you very soon.